everyone.
So good to be here again and expanding on the Abraham now. That's been, it was for 2 hours ago now, around that. And beautiful expansion, many beautiful things. And it's always a beautiful expansion. And today she opened up for more about this meditation and things around that. And also with, to letting you know that to being okay where you're at, and also to know that there is no rush, there is no push, and there is no must, there is no need. You must need or do anything for feeling your alignment. You can be okay with where you are and lining up with what feels best to you right now, and then moving forward, because there is no rush or push or neediness for reaching something, for getting your alignment, because alignments never need anything for you to do or have for becoming, to feel the energy of it. And that's something to really to just like let yourself to feel that freedom, because it's not about your doingness or havingness. It's about that you can, right in this moment in time, whatever, no matter what, to line up with the energy of who you really are. And it really doesn't matter what you do or have about it. It's just lining up in it and feeling it, and then you will know in your own way. You will know when you are in alignment with who you really are. So let's open up with that, Jen, and with the meditation part, because there was so much expansion. So that would be nice to hear from you about this. So thanks.
Oh, I love everything you shared, Espen. So beautiful. And it is true. That's such a key piece for us to be okay with where we're at. And during the broadcast today, they shared, Source loves you always. Your inner being loves you unconditionally always, and unwaveringly always, regardless. It's always, it's constant, it's ongoing. And there was a question today that was posed, and it was from a lady who said she had been to a couple live events, and she said she even felt some shyness in sending in a question where she knew she would still be anonymous. She felt this, like she was almost embarrassed or shy to be seen. And Abraham said, "Oh, we always see you. You are so beautiful to us. We love you in every way. We appreciate you in every way. We want to let you know you are seen, you are heard, you are felt, you are appreciated. You are an extension of all that is." And there was such pure love and validation that flowed through that. And such chills of wonderful delight. And it's true. We are always unconditionally loved. Source, our God, our inner being is never judging, never harsh, never saying, "We wish you would have done that different." Never. Always just responding to us, loving us. Everything we ask is always given. And this is such a beautiful piece to segue into meditation, because again, in today's broadcast, they expanded more into meditation, and such a beautiful tool, such a wonderful aligning tool. And I'm so appreciative, Espen, that you offer meditation every day, right? You're doing it in a form of reading, but it's really, knowing, to take that time, take that 15 or 20 minutes to connect to who you really are, to feel that, so you can feel that unconditional love, that unwavering love, and you can feel that path that is always being illuminated. And because it's always there. We're always being called forward. And it's, really coming in that space of feeling who we are. And when we can come to even begin to touch on how Source loves, values, and appreciates us unconditionally and unwaveringly, we can really begin to feel the guidance that is flowing to us and through us at all times. And it's a beautiful, beautiful journey forward. It's a beautiful unfoldment. So So yeah, expansions on that, Espen?
It feels good. It feels good. Um, yeah, I so appreciate also you, Jen, and with everyone in BestLife, what we do, and it feels like what, since words don't teach, but the life experience does, and it's like from Abraham when I'm doing the meditation, and it feels, we're having the background sounds and the music, and then just reading, and it feels like reading from Abraham. It's just like meditation, just coming in this space of pure meditation, pure bliss, and pure appreciation. That's what I feel. That what feels to me that when I'm reading, and it's like because it's not so much about the words, but it's the energy, the feelings behind those words. It feels so good. And that's like immediately when you feel good and relaxing into it. That's, you can call that a form of meditation, because when we are allowing energy to come through and have no thought about it, what it should be or not, and we feel so unconditional good, that's a form of meditation. That's a kind of letting it happen. And she talked about it, the daydreaming part, and I love you to expand on that, Jen, because it was so nice. But for myself, many of those things I've been feeling for myself recently, a lot about, because I was sitting in the hot seat with Abraham in Chicago, and she was speaking about letting it happen and watching movie play. So, do you want to expand on that? Because
I do.
yeah, and I've been feeling a lot of that energy for myself after since that conversation, but it's just been expanding more, and I'm more easy and gentle and general about it as well, because I know it's so fun when you are watching the movie play and then just follow whatever what comes there.
Oh,
So
yeah, I love it. And I so loved seeing you in the hot seat. That was absolutely beautiful in Chicago. And
and now I'm sitting again with the here with
it,
you and with all of us.
yes, it's
It's
so
good.
beautiful. Yeah. And, this is the thing. Meditation isn't to do something, so to speak. There's not an action. It's about truly quieting your mind, just giving yourself that 15 or 20 minutes to feel that connection. And then watch the movie if there is one. And this is an important piece because that movie, these are the things that are in your vortex. And sometimes there's this desire, right, to if you start to see this, to want to get in there, and or direct the movie or make the movie. No, this is a time where you are getting a glimpse of what you've put in your vortex, what you are able to receive. Your inner being, that extension of God, is showing you what you've asked, how beautiful it is, and just to allow that to expand through. It's such a beautiful thing. And this is really the co-creative process that we're a part of. Us in our human form, right? We're here to sift and sort, to live in life. But we know, right? Um, if we were touching a hot stove, we would know to take our finger away. We would know if something didn't feel good. But it's the same thing as we're sifting and sorting through life. When we feel something that vibrationally doesn't feel good, just shift your focus to something that feels better. um, and it's just allowing ourselves to be easy with that, to calibrate ourselves to better and better feelings, to calibrate ourselves to how the broader aspect of us is feeling. And that broader aspect of us, that non-physical, and I'm feeling this very strongly, um, they're with us. They are with us. They are part of all we're doing. They are part of everything we are. I had a dearly beloved niece who just made her transition a few days ago, and I can feel her presence very strongly. I can feel that unconditional love coming through, and she's right here. So, all that have preceded you, all loved ones, those that you've admired, those Einstein, wonderful people, they're here. They're part of all that we are. this is the leading edge here on this wonderful planet. And to just really delight in your becoming, delight in feeling your connection to the broader aspect of you, that non-physical, and bringing it into physical manifestation. This is our joy, to be deliberate in this, to have fun with this, and to just freely flow forward with all of it, knowing that there's always more. Everything is in a space of eternal becoming. And the guidance is always there. We're always being called forward. And when we can deliberately tune into the frequency, the higher, the better feelings. So it's easier for us to choose joy over stress. It's easy for us to choose being happy rather than feeling angry or resentful. It's easy. It's easy for us to appreciate. We'll feel that come through more. We'll start to feel more ease in our life. And we'll start to feel those things from our vortex, those things that maybe we're seeing as we're meditating, or you may be experiencing when you're having daydreams, right? Little daydream segments in your day when you just remember, and hopefully you're having some of these now, but especially as a child, when you would just kind of pause, have that little stare, and just this delicious thought coming through. Yeah. These are bits and glimpses of your vortex, of the things you've asked for. And when you're feeling good, they come through. So that's the whole idea behind all of it, to flow in the direction of that which feels better. And to know we're supported in all of it. We're appreciated in all of it. And we can, Abraham would say, can never do it wrong. I'll take it even a step further, and I'll say we can only do it right, because we're never going to get it done. There's always, always, always more. Expansions, Espen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels good. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to just listening, and I have sometimes, just feeling. It's just like so good to just feel when there's something that resonates with in a being. And I love something she shared, Abraham, today, about the influence. When you are most tapped in tune and tapping and turn on, your natural influence people fulfilling their own alignment. And that is such a nice thing, and that was something beautiful in the expansion. So can you speak more about that again? That's something fun, because it's beautiful, because it's like we don't need to do anything or change people. It's all about feeling our own alignment. That's what it's all about. And when we feel in our own alignment, everything lines up for us. And if there's other people who join, it's they will feel their own alignment. But we have no thought about that in that. And as who we truly are, we always want everyone to join, because it's whoever who wants to stay in there. And it's an expansion. It's always supporting, uplifting, and unconditional love, and appreciate everything that is. So when we are self-tuned into that vibration in who we truly are, it's very easy to naturally influence other people to feel their own way, in their own way of, because the alignment always comes through. There is no resistance to what is. There is a becoming always. So when you are in the becoming and feeling your own alignment, that's what's matching up with yourself. And that's without, the other people having their own experience of feeling their own alignment. You both can increase that kind of, it feels so good to be in that, not increase, but it feels so good to be in that kind of environment. And that's something she opened up with too, with groups, and come together and share things, because the energy is so strong, and the power is so powerful. But like it's a pleasure of it, but no needingness, but it's of the pleasure. It's very, very beautiful, and it feels very good. So do you want to expand on that, Jen?
Yeah. Oh, I love this so. And it is understanding that this is a vibrational universe. Everything is vibrational, and it's the law of attraction is it governs all of it, both in this physical universe and in non-physical. Same law. So, and it's knowing that there's nothing outside of us that's doing anything to us. There is no assertion, right? So, what does that mean? That means when we are transmitting vibrations or signals, cooperative components, that could be other people, it could be animals, it could be the situations or circumstances in your life, are coming to match your vibrations. They are coming to match the frequency that you are transmitting. So if you are predominantly truly feeling in a space of appreciation and enjoying life, and wow, beautiful things are flowing to you with the greatest of ease, right? Easily, people are flowing in and out. But if you, and here's where it's important to feel your feelings, right? Faking your feelings or pretending your feelings are something other will not benefit you. So say you come to recognize you kind of have some worry going on. You're kind of worried about some stuff, right? And then you keep getting things coming into your life that are giving you things to worry about, right? Well, it's important to recognize that that person that matched that worry vibration came because you invited them by worrying. Yeah, they didn't come and do something and then you worried. You invited them through that vibration, right? Or if you're feeling a lot of fear, different situations or circumstances in your life will come to match, right? We are the creator of what's happening. So, and I wanted to kind of just expand that out just a little bit first, because the idea is, just like we were speaking about earlier through meditation and different things, is to be able to feel our alignment more. Well, make it easy. It's really about feeling good and being tuned in enough to our feelings so that we know when we're feeling good, right? We pretty much know that, but also to be aware if we're feeling anxious or worried or fearful or any negative emotion, sad, and we're not pretending we're not that. Instead, we're acknowledging those things so we can deliberately recalibrate them to a better feeling. And there's so much benefit, because if you are feeling some of these negative emotions, don't go, well, that's it, I'm stuck because I'm feeling these negative emotions. No, the joy is in the journey of you acknowledging that negative emotion and then gently recalibrating it to a better feeling, deciding, oh, I just recognized I was a little worried about that, or a lot worried, right? Acknowledging it and then being like, well, what could feel a bit better? Right? Each time you do this, each time you deliberately recognize what you're feeling and you purposefully, deliberately shift or flow in a direction that feels better, you strengthen your alignment. You validate who you are and you come into alignment with Source. Because even when you're feeling that negative emotion, your inner being, Source, God, is calling you forward. They're not upset with you. When you're worrying, your inner being is not at all. But your inner being is going, here, we have what you want. This carefree abundance. It's over here. Come this way, right? So, but when you're in that vibration, it doesn't feel like it's there. So if you are feeling any negative emotion, feel good, feel blessed that you can acknowledge it and flow forward. Every time you do that, your alignment strengthens. And as now you've recalibrated some, you feel that sweet release, that relief of coming into who you really are. You'll feel that. You'll feel your connection more. Your meditations will really start to, right? The appreciation flows more naturally. You'll feel your alignment. Now, and you can start this sooner too, but be deliberate about this. Now, as you're flowing forward, you understand your alignment more. Be deliberate as you're flowing into your segments. Before you do something, decide, I'm going to I'm going to feel my alignment during this segment. I'm going to find joy. I'm going to enjoy whatever it is. So deliberately, before you connect with, maybe it's a difficult relationship or something, feel your connection first. Segment intended, right? Deliberately say, okay, maybe before you walk in to go see that person or connect with them, you know, just take a few moments. You can write it down, or you can just think it in your mind, really think it, that I'm feeling and flowing in my alignment. I'm going to enjoy this. I really do appreciate this person. And then just flow forward into it. You'll find that person will be different. They'll be different, but don't do it because the person will be different. Do it because it feels good to you. Do it because you love the feeling of alignment. And I'll say this, because I did mention that they'll be different. Don't be looking for them necessarily to be different, or don't be going, well, they weren't that different. They were still grouchy or whatever. Just continue to strengthen your alignment, because we don't know where anybody is at. And, you know, it's granting them their beingness. And it's also recognizing when you're feeling and flowing in your alignment, you appreciate others for where they're at. You are like Source. Remember when we were talking just a bit ago? Source loves you unconditionally. You forgot to make your bed? Source loves you. You didn't clean up the kitchen? Source loves you. You had an argument with your spouse? Source still loves you. Your inner being still loves you unconditionally and is calling you forward. And when you can be more like Source is for you, when you can come to recognize that feeling within you, you can be that for others. I know I took a bit of a little bit of a path to explain that, because I wanted you to really feel that it's gradual. It doesn't have to take long, but let it be easy. Let yourself feel that your alignment. Let yourself feel the unconditional love flowing through. Let yourself be who you really are. And there was a segment, I was so touched by it in today's broadcast. And it was a mom, and she had a 16-year-old daughter who normally is at boarding school. And at boarding school, you know, they don't really see each other, right? They're separate. But now, because of you know, things going on, they're together. And the mom said, you know, that it's a tense relationship. The daughter isn't really wanting to be around her that much. But then she also observed, the mom did, when she would just stop trying to effort to try to do things or prearrange things for the daughter, but instead she focused on herself as the mom, feeling good, feeling her alignment. She noticed her daughter would just come and want to be with her, because her daughter was feeling the alignment, not the pressure, not the prearranged thought out thing. She was feeling Source energy. That daughter was feeling who she really is. She could feel her inner being. And we can do this for one another. And to be the one that shines from your space of alignment more feels good. It feels really good to be that human representative of the unconditional love that our inner being has for us, that God Source has for us, feels good always. Yeah, so expansions on that, Espen. I know I was really...
I love listening to you, Jen. You're, no words. It just feels so unconditional good. And you know, it's a lot of activity, beautiful activity, stored energy here. It's just like flowing. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful unconditional. Isn't that nice that still, like you now mentioned, that your knees, the non-physical energy is still here. You know, that we never will be gone, that we are everless, that we are Still, when we are not here in physical form, the unconditional love and appreciation of who we are is always continues to flow forward. We can feel that energy in ourselves. And that energy is the most nature of all of us. And like you mentioned that our mom was feeling her flowing her own alignment. Her daughter was calling her. And yeah, it's the same. The inner being is calling you. And that's in all of us. Your inner being is calling you. My inner being is calling you. Jen's inner being is calling you. Everyone who listens here's inner being is calling you. And that is naturally calling you. And when you are following your own bliss and feeling your own inner being calling you, and you follow through the energy, vibration, and feeling the frequency of more and more, there will be natural for other people to join because we all have our own inner being calling us. But we are enjoying it for our own pleasure. And it's the most selfish for everyone to be selfish to say to themselves, yes, it's my nature to feel good now and better, and to feel unconditional love and appreciation for who I am and everyone else. And feel the unconditional love and appreciation in with my family, with my friends, with every humanity, to know there is an unconditional love and appreciation within each and one of them. And when I'm lined up with myself, I can only see that in them. I see them as pure souls. I see them from who they really are. And that feels so good. And I'm more aware of those things on the buffet that feels good to me. I know there's choices. The contrast, there's own expansion. And she mentioned something about that too, Abraham. Contrast is immediately you have a choice. It's a very, very beautiful freedom, man. Immediately when you have a contrast in your experience, you have a choice. And immediately you choose to be deliberate about in a way that feels better for you. That contrast expands the wantingness of it. And you can feel the energy when there is no resistance to what happening in the contrast. Because contrast is not resisting. Contrast is a contrast. Like a frequency of contrast, like electricity is electricity and the toaster is the toaster. So it's just an expansion, and you are the chooser of that, what's going on in your experience of that contrast. You are the chooser and the focuser in where do I want to focus, and you are so free. And to also know that it's not a push energy, there's no rush energy in there. There's an alignment energy, there's an easy energy, gentleness energy. It's like a kind energy to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's just like be kind to yourself. It's all good. There's no rush here. You can calibrate into this energy and you can come into that. And when you calibrate and fine tuning and feeling the energy and it's resonate like music when you fine tuning a guitar and you just feel, there we go, that's a perfect pitch. And you just feel all this, it feels good and you just, yes, that feels good to me. You calibrate for your own way because everyone have our own, things on, what feels good to us. Calibrating into that vibration, feeling that, every desire we have supporting us from the non-physical, everything that everyone is supporting and uplifting, and always want us to have that in the non-physical. Every relationship and the best of it with family, with friends, and enjoying of the things that you have material things, and with every experience with traveling, whatever. It's the non-physical, supporting, uplifting, and giving the best to you, and feeling satisfaction for it, and enjoy every moment of it, every single, it's the journey now. The newness and refreshing is so enjoying it. And that alignment is such, it's always available for us. And what a freedom to just feel that. That alignment is always available to all of us. It's not depending on anything. It's have no neediness. It's not out of reach. It's not something you must do or have for reaching out to. It's who we are. It's a natural who we are. And you can feel it inside. And that's why we can feel good or feel bad. Because, that's the emotional guidance system. But that led us on now what feels best to us. And it's not emotional guidance system. It's not good or bad. It's just an emotional guidance system, just telling where you are at the moment in your feelings and how you feel and think about things. It's a guidance system. And it's not serious about it. It's just, oh, I'm feeling now this. Thank you. what feels a little bit better, and you move on, and you're easy about it, easy it will be, and easier you will be with every contrast and every experience you have, and gentle with that. More easy and gentle experience you will have with every contrast and everything that's now are moving forward in the now and the new, the now, and next and next and next. And you will just like, this is so fun. You will be more playful about it, more satisfying, more fun, and you will know that contrast is serving you well, and it is. Because
Mhm.
everything is for us, nothing is against us. We are not here as human beings for being against ourselves. We are here as human beings for being allow ourselves to be, do, and have anything and everything we desire for, and receive and feel good through all of that.
Yeah.
So to have some expansion of that, Jeff.
Wow. So good. Well, I just, delighted in everything you shared, Espen. So beautiful. And so true. Our feelings are for us. They're all good. Um, all of them, even the negative ones, not so we should stay there, so we know to shift our focus. It's really it. We feel negative emotion when we're resisting that which we've asked for. That's why we feel negative emotion. It's not actually from the contrast. The contrast doesn't create the negative emotion. The contrast lets us choose in that moment. Do you want this? Yes or no? No. Okay. What do and our inner being, God's source, knows instantly what we truly do desire. It's up to us to line up with what we truly desire, right? To flow in that direction. But as long as we stay looking at that contrast, we all start to feel the negative emotion when we're resisting the calling from our inner being saying, here, we have what you want. Here it is. Come this way. No, no, no. You didn't see my bank account. Come this way. We have the abundance you desire. Come this way. No, no, no. Dude, this is a problem, right? And as long as you continue to fixate on that, right, it will feel bad and will continually, the negative emotion will build up with it. So encourage you, right? And it just do this because it feels so good. Just acknowledge it. Okay, bank account, you look different than I was expecting or that I was desiring, but that's okay. It's not my preference in this moment, but I know that what I want is vibrationally created. I know that when I feel better, the solution for this will flow through. So I'm going to go about feeling better in this moment. And then do it. Do it, do it, do it. You know, feel good about knowing to flow in a good feeling direction. One of the questions today, it's really, I think, very illuminating, maybe for each of us. And it was a delightful lady who is, she was originally from Iowa and now was out in San Francisco. And I think she was like an X-ray technician or something in the medical industry. And she was new to the San Francisco area, but obviously with things that are going on right now, was very involved, had a lot going on. And in that space, she felt she should just take a personal day. She felt she wanted to take a personal day, and she did. But then she felt so guilty about taking the personal day, right? And so, Abraham, said, well, a better thing to ask yourself is, why is it difficult for you to flow in the direction of joy, to flow in the direction of that which feels better for you? And I love the expansion because it is true. When you are lined up with your desires, and for this lady, she was excellent at what she does. She shines from her space of alignment a lot. She's a bright light, so to speak, in that wonderful medical setting that she's in. And when she's lined up with that, she'll feel the guidance. And if she's guided to take a day off, well, absolutely. She'll enjoy it rather than feeling guilty, right? But also, here's the other thing. When you're really lined up with your desires, you'll feel the joy flow through the work you're doing, the activities you're involved in, the relationships you have. And you won't be demanding of them that they give you perfection, right? You won't be hung up on the details of them. You'll be so much more in a space of ease and flow and appreciation. And in that space, they will, in essence, surprise and delight you. They will come to match you. And occasionally, when there is that little bit of contrast, it'll be easier for you to acknowledge. But even if something catches you off guard and that contrast gets a hold of you a little more, right? You resist it instead of just flowing with it. That's okay too. Wherever you're at is okay. Just flowing, just feel that beautiful relief of flowing forward and flow forward to a better feeling space. Feel that. There's nothing to go back to. Everything is to flow forward to. And in that space of you flowing forward, everything that you desire that matches your vibrational frequency comes with you. So what does that mean? That means as you're flowing forward and you're feeling good in your alignment, guess what? The things that will come with you, they feel good. And you might have maybe something that will come up, maybe an old pattern or something previously. But guess what? You can acknowledge that and you can transform it into your space of newness. You can allow it to come into alignment with you. And the reason I share this is because sometimes from our human perspective, we kind of think we need to gather everything with us, carry it with us because we don't want to forget. We want to hang on to it so we don't, we remember everything, we have everything, and right, and just kind of hold tight to it. Your inner being has it all. This is an ever-expanding universe. Everything is always in its space of becoming, and it's becoming more based upon your focus. There's nothing to hang on to because it's all coming forward. Everything is calming. So when you can kind of let go of thinking, I need to hang on to, I need to remember so much, you'll feel it's already there. Oh, and there's a relief to that. There's a relief to feeling how your inner being has everything. The broader aspect of you has everything. And when you feel free to flow forward, you can freely flow into more. You can start to find more joy, more happiness, more fun, more interest, more of those satisfying vibrations, more of those things. And you'll see your life expanding more without you working to expand it. But it all begins, just like at the beginning, acknowledging and being okay with where you're at. And you can say, but I feel grumpy right now. I feel really irritated. Well, acknowledge that. Acknowledge that and say, well, that's not my preferred feeling, but I know that this feeling is because I thought it would help me to be a better person. I thought if I was hard on myself a little bit and really stuck my nose to the grindstone that, things would somehow pay off. But I'm coming to understand that this is a law of attraction universe. And I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to flow forward into the newness. I'm going to flow forward into feeling the unconditional love of my inner being and who I really am. I'm going to flow forward into all of my becoming. I'm going to delight in the glimpses that I receive when I meditate in my vortex, the glimpses that I receive of my vortex when I daydream, when a daydream comes in, when I'm appreciating, when I start to see it shining through in others, when I start to really understand who I really am, when I feel confident to stand wherever I'm at, knowing that I can feel and flow in my alignment, and knowing that that is the most powerful thing that I can do because it feels the best. And when I can feel my alignment, others can feel theirs. And we're all in this together. We're all supporting one another. And so if you have a desire to uplift others, this is the way. Not by directly pushing against them and telling them the things they need to change in their behavior or how they could be better at this or that. Just shine from that space of unconditional love. They'll feel their guidance. They are connected to that same source. And you'll get to feel the exhilaration and joy of, of feeling source flowing to you and through you. You'll feel that validation. You'll feel it's unexplainable. The words, how delightful it is to be that, and to really know we're in this together, unconditionally, unwaveringly, wonderfully, beautifully, flowing forward. Yeah. Expansions on that, Espen?
Hmm.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Oh,
Isn't it
it feels
awesome?
good. Yeah.
It feels good. And thank you, Espen, for always shining so bright. Thank you for
Thank you,
doing
Jen. Thank
meditations
you also, Jen. And
daily.
yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. And
I just love listening. It's just a it's just relaxing my body so much, and I like just like now when I until now that's the source. It's like I just felt when it's coming off from me is the expansion, and you are allowing yourself to be. You can just feel the expansion. So um, I just felt so much now, and I can remember so much what you said. But wow, it feels good. I just hear you. I can feel the energy of it. So it's always, isn't it so nice to know that when you feel the alignment, you don't need words. You don't need anything from anything. You just can free flow and go with the alignment. It's just like when Abraham talked about that expansion on the daydreaming part, right? That you don't try to daydream or thinking conscious about what you're daydreaming about. You are like you're just letting it come to you, just like
yeah,
it's
you're
it's just
receiving.
it's just you feel the alignment of who you are, and now from that alignment you receive more of that which you feel vibrationally inside of yourself, and it's always matching up with the next thing that coming up with the next thought, because it's an attraction, and it's and more we are aware of this energy of who we truly are now and feeling the alignment, it's what now the next attraction will be more from the energy of what you feel from within yourself. So then the relationship with the non-physical, with that energy that you feel inside of yourself, and then the relationship with everything else, that's the cooperation from the inside with the outside, that gives you what you feel most from within, that gives you the experience of how you look and see and takes, physical sense, those things outside of yourself. And it's lining up. So more you feel that vibrational alignment with who you truly are, more you feel the vibrational alignment with all that is, with everything, with every relationship, with everything you see, you feel, taste, smell. It's expand and vibrates more.
Mm-hmm.
And that is to be in the receiving mode. That's to be the natural receiver of the asking, and it is given. And then you will be more deliberate about it. Again, it's so nice if you love to expand on the 5 steps again, because it's a wonderful now expansion to know that everything you can talk about right now, and to
Mm-hmm.
expand it out with the 5 steps,
Yeah,
because it's so clarifying. It's so clarifying right now.
yeah, yeah. Well, yes, I would be happy to do that. And I just want to, you so inspired me too, because you are a beautiful representation for each of us to see, to relax into who you really are. Now, you might think, well, am I just supposed to just be all relaxed all day? Relax. Espen, you were just skiing earlier today. Relax into your skiing. Relax into your fun, meaning you don't have anything to prove. Relax into who you really are and let the energy flow through your cooking, through your relationships, through your work. Relax into that. Relax into feeling source energy flowing to you and through you. Relax into your alignment. Relax into it. And which is the perfect place to flow into the steps. So step 1. Right, here we are. We're relaxing and we see some contrast. Okay, well, that's not my preference, that barking dog next door. It's really loud and making noise. This is inspired from the last broadcast. I don't know if I like dogs.
I love dogs too. So nice.
But right, but there's this contrast, right? Well, instead of getting yourself all worked up, right? Dumb dog. Oh, what am I going to do? You know, yelling out your door, shut up, right? You know, so what are these things, right? I don't know. Instead, relax, contrast, lots of noise. Okay. Then know this, your inner being is right there with you. God's source is right there with you. Hearing that noise, that dog, it's going, oh, we love that dog. Come this way. That dog, oh, that dog, right? It's put exactly what you want in that vortex, in your vortex. It put it there for you. So, right, and it's in a really feel-good space because this dog is awesome. And it's barking, you know, for whatever reason, it's tuned in. That's the wonderful thing about animals. They're very tuned in. So then what do? You hear the dog. Well, then acknowledge that. Noise. There's a lot of noise next door. Wow. But that's okay. It's a dog. It's okay. You know what? It's a pretty cute dog, you know, and that's okay. He's barking because he can bark. I'm glad he can bark. You know, I really appreciate that there is a dog next door because it is nice. He does bark when there's strangers coming. He does alert me. There's times I'm aware somebody is coming to my door because he's tuned into my house too. He is being the watchdog for the whole neighborhood. And just relax into it. Go about feeling better. And before you know it, that dog won't be barking, right? It won't be barking. So step 1, the contrast. You acknowledge it. It's okay that you didn't prefer that loud noise or the barking or whatever. That's okay. Nobody says you have to make yourself like the barking, right, in that moment in time. That's not it. You acknowledge this isn't my preference. Right? That's the asking, right? Right there. Step 2, not your work, but your inner being is all over it. Come this way. We have what you want. It's in a real good place. And oh, come on over. Step 3, you line up with that better feeling. You line up with the sense of relief of going, you know, I don't need to get worked up over this. I really like that. He's actually really cute. You know, I think I'm going to buy some treats for him at the store. I'm gonna, whatever. You just flow forward with it. Instead of pushing against the dog, you're flowing forward to a better feeling deliberately. Yeah, it will change. Step 4, you get good at this. When you get good at this, something beautiful happens. Because when you have little contrast, maybe they would have previously felt big. They don't feel so big because now you're pretty quick to acknowledge the contrast and flow forward to the receiving space. You're pretty quick about it because you know you have a greater understanding that when you ask, it's given. And you are easy at allowing things. You understand when you feel good, when you are appreciating, when you're taking your time to meditate daily, 15 to 20 minutes, not hours, you just that little bit, right? When you're allowing the daydreams to come in, things are starting to really flow. The universe is surprising and delighting you. Wonderful things are flowing in. Okay, now you're good at it. Well, step 5, and this is where source is in terms of you. This is where your inner being is. This is when you are back in step 1, back in the contrast. You're not bothered by the contrast. This is where source is. When you are listening to that dog bark and it's making you feel kind of annoyed, your inner being isn't annoyed. It's just going, oh, come this way, right? Go buy some doggy treats, right? It's guiding you in that way, always. And I know I gave kind of a light example, but it can be anything. It can be any relationship. It can be any physical possession that you're desiring. It can be anything. This works for everything. You ask. You know that it's given by the broader aspect of you vibrationally. And then you go about feeling better. How do you do that? You acknowledge the contrast and flow into a better feeling space. Easily, not being impatient about it, just lining yourself up with better feelings. You'll see things come in. Step 4, you get good at this. You're getting comfortable being comfortable. You're getting good at feeling good. You don't feel guilty because you want to take a day off of work. You feel joy, but you also feel joy when you're at work. You feel interested. You feel like I am good at my job. I'm making a difference. I love this. I'm enjoying this. Step 5, contrast comes again, but it doesn't wobble you. It doesn't wobble you. You can acknowledge it easily, quickly, and know that it's serving a broader purpose. Know that it's inspiring new ideas and expansions within you. And it is ensuring the eternalness of all that is, our unending becoming, the always more factor. So, yeah, really
So
good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you have a step 6 that you just feel so unconditional good, and you just speak unconditional love and appreciation for everything and anything, and knowing that all is good and all is well, and there's always more to come, and then there's an expansion, and there is seeing, feeling, tasting, smelling, hearing the best in everything and in all that is. That's when you just know what it really is behind all of the physical. That's the non-physical. That's the pure love, source energy. So, and we can be there too. It's good there, but also these steps were a wonderful thing to know and to feel and to expand and to feel that how the law of the universe. Now you can be more deliberate about it. What you've been attracted before, that you can have new expansion and new experience and new way of looking at things as you're moving forward, because pure love source energy always look new and refreshed. So.
Oh, so well said, Espen. So beautiful in every way. Yes, everything is always new and refreshed. It always is. It's always flowing forward. There's always more. You can only do it right, meaning you can never get it wrong. Nothing to worry about. Just flow forward into your beautiful becoming. And as you get more at ease with this, allow yourself to be that for others. Allow yourself to be the human representation of source, of feeling and flowing in your alignment. Allow yourself to be that, not because you have to, not because it's an obligation, but because it's who you really are, because it feels so good. And I recommend only do things that feel good to you. Only do the things that allow you to feel your connection more and more. So good.
Well, what a wonderful hour. Is it going 1 hour already? Yeah. It's amazing how fast things going. It feels just like 20 minutes or something like it. Go very fast. That's the fun part when you're enjoying and feeling the unconditional love and appreciation you are. Everything speeds up. but you're getting out of the head of it because naturally it does, and it feels good.
Yeah.
And then you just feel the excitement for more and the satisfaction for more. That's natural too when you have those experiences, when things flow easy to you and through you. The experiences and how you're thinking about things and feeling about things, and how much beautiful receiving of all of these impulses and inspirations and ideas and all of those things that you care about, that you feel so good about, that feels good to you. And it's just an ongoing process to more and more and more and more. Ongoing process and an ongoing progress. And we are all in this together, each and one of us. And it feels good and free.
Yeah, really does. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. You are loved, valued, and appreciated for being exactly who you are. You are irreplaceable. The extension of God's source that you are, your representation in this physical universe is absolutely divine. So thank you for being you. Appreciate yourself. I appreciate all that is. There's so much more to come. And thank you, Espen. This has been magnificent.
Thank you, Jen. Yeah. Behind words, it's just unconditional love and appreciation and feeling of more. That's it's so nice because really it's just the feeling what you yourself feel right now in this moment, what you experience now, that will give you more.
Yes. So love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.
You're beautiful rest of the day. Thank you, Jen. I love you so much, and I love you all so much. So thank you so much.
Bye-bye, everyone.
I appreciate it. All of you.